Well, one thing that people sometimes have their hard time getting their head around in Access is this idea of layers of data. And I just wanted to show you that you're actually quite familiar with layers of data. So layers of software, actually. There's a saying that says every problem in software can be solved by adding an extra layer of indirection. And I'll try to show you that. So it used to be that when you in Microsoft Word, for example, you would just type, and then if you wanted to see what it looked like, you had to actually print the document. It couldn't show you on the screen. And so there was a place where all the document, where the text for the document was blah, 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 type, 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 all this text. And then you want to see what it looks like, you say print, and it would come out on a page, and then you'd go and change it. So you could think of that's kind of like two different versions of the document. There's the kind that's on the screen, and then there's the kind that's on the paper. And that was a bit painful and hard on the printer and hard on your paper. So they came up with this idea that, well, there's more ways to view the data than just on the screen. So if you look at draft mode, that's kind of what draft mode was. But you can also have print preview mode, which just says this is what it's going to look like when it's printed. There's an also mode called outline view. I don't know if you ever use it, but it's really useful for drafting up big documents, to draft them up in outline view. So Word has got this idea of layers. You've got the data in this layer, and then this view, the outline view, is still acting on the same data, but it's a different view of the data. Print preview is acting on the same view, but it's a different view of the same data, but a different view of the data. PowerPoint also has got layers, different layers of data. There's the design view, there's the presentation view, there's the slide sorter view. Another way to look at it's the same data, it's the same PowerPoint presentation. In fact, I can even show you now. So there's the design view right there. That's how we design PowerPoint slides. I can click on the slideshow, and there you can see the actual slideshow. It looks pretty similar, but not quite, and has different functionality. And also there's the slide sorter view, and that shows us all the slides that we should be looking at. So the different views of data, but it's all the same base data. The same data is in there. The fact that it's got the word software on it. Each one of those three views had the word software on this page, but there's different ways of looking at it. Excel, again, has different views. There's the sheet view, which is kind of what you normally look at. You're typing in rows and columns, but you can also say pivot tables and charts as well. There are different views of the data. The data stays the same, but it drives this other view. And it's not exactly live. Like, you can make a pivot table and then change the underlying data. It doesn't automatically change the pivot table, but the charts are live. You can change the underlying data, and the charts will change along with it to different views. So that's a long-winded way of saying there is also views in Access. Access has Microsoft Access, the database that we're learning now. There's many views, four views just to begin with. So there's the table. Actually, there's two views within every one of these software. There's a couple different views. There's the table. Let me just change that. Oops. For my background, to get rid of that. And so each of those things has got it's got a design view, it's got a data view, and there's even some more views. So when you're working with tables, there's two views you can work with just right off the bat. You can go and say, this is what the table looks like from the point of view of design, how you design it. Just like right now, we're in PowerPoint, we're designing the presentation. And then the data view allows you to see what it looks like when it's got the data in it, when it's got the data inside the table. So let me just go back. So here, the design, this is the data sheet view. This shows you the actual, what the data looks like. You can actually add data and delete data from this. But if you want the design view, just shows you the names of the fields, and what the design is, how you would design them. Great. So design view, data view, and that's the whole process of working in Access is going between the design view and the data view. Then the forms, you design the form, you design. What is it going to look like? What's the form view? What's the report going to look like when it's got data in it? What's the query going to look like when it's got data in it? So just layers upon layers upon layers, and it's good to know that those layers are in there and they're connected up together. Yeah. So more about database. The In the database table layers, there's uh, in the database table, there's the structure and the actual data. So the structure has what are the names of the tables, the types of fields, the rules about the fields, the different relationships, and even this thing called indexes to make it a bit faster. And the actual data is the records. And just to get you clear, you would have learned about UR records, like medical records, for example. They're not the same. A record is one line of data in a database. Different records does not go in a manila folder with a UR number on the outside. It's not that kind of record, different kind of record. So that's the basic layer of the basic layers in Access tables, and similar in forms and reports and queries. There's two different ways of looking at it. One looks at the actual data, and one looks about the structure of it.